Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
Dun, 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 dun.
If it loads.
We're on stream.
Yeah, we're alive, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I was not gonna stop before enjoying the music.
Good respect.
So first off, hi guys. Yeah, it's been a while since we did DGS. I did not mean to put this series on hiatus for like nearly a month at this point.
I'll be real with y'all. I lost track of time.
Yeah, dude.
It feels like 2 weeks, honestly.
These past few weeks have been kind of nuts. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, life happens. You can't control it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to ask, real quick, if I can. Where's my mic? Okay. Yeah. So I was going back into the VOD, and I noticed that like. Even though the quality of my mic is great, you can kind of just keep hearing every time I click, you know, with my mouse.
Yeah.
So, I want chat to answer me on this. Do you guys like the Yeti for this one a little bit more? Or do you like the headset? On the headset, you won't be able to hear the clicking, but on the Yeti, you will be able to. So I just want to ask chat of which one they prefer.
I mean, you can also just, when going through all the text, you can just press a key.
True. Do I have? I also got.
You can check your controls. Like what exactly?
Emulation, configure. Let's see, controls. Okay, it's just the A button. All right, I can do that.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll just do the Yeti then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Since it has been a while, you want a little refresher on Case 3?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I just have one more announcement of that. If Kevin's not doing anything tomorrow morning, I think I'm going to start up Spider-Man, like as my casual stream.
Hell yeah.
Because Miles Morales is I'll be actually able to play that way before I thought I was going to.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
Yeah, so I kind of want to do. So what I'm gonna do is my run of Ultimate Difficulty New Game Plus, since that's the only achievement I have left in that game. So we'll be doing that as also kind of my warm up for that when it does drop. I think other than that, we're gonna be here again Saturday tomorrow. Yeah, so anyway, the refresher, if you guys want, because I remember it was, we were helping that guy, he totally did it, and then the trial got cut short, and the evidence
and he was deemed not guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the truth didn't come out, and also the what's it called? Fuck. The name of that kind of car thing always. Oh, I always forget it.
The Omnibus.
Omnibus. And at the end, the Omnibus got burned at the end.
Yeah.
With someone inside.
Now, you guys say that this is when they start getting long at this point.
Yeah.
You said this will probably take 4 sessions.
4 sessions.
Alright.
Also, Pat, if it's out time, forgive me because before the stream I woke up from a nap. I probably would have honestly missed the beginning of the stream because if it wasn't for the fact that my leg cramp woke me up at 6:30.
Jeez, wow. Alright.
Saved by a cramp.
I suddenly was just really tired. I was like, I'm going to take a nap.
Alright. Well, we got episode 4, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro, I believe?
Yeah, Clouded Kokoro. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Got it right, yes! Alright.
Okay.
Alright, add him to the count.
Let's go!
Alright.
時折僕は思うのだよ、ワトソン。ホームズは物憂げに首を振り我々が目にする事件は本当にそれが全てなのだろうか。その裏側に誰も知るようない物語が隠れているかもしれない。ハーブティーから立ち上る湯気を追うその夢見るような眼差しの先にはきっとあの雪の日の夕刻の情景が浮かんでいたのだと思う。ブライアロードの歩道に倒れ伏した若い女性とその背に刺さった狂人。ガス灯の明かりが柔らかく切り取った奇怪な事件現場の情景。 不可解な姿なき犯人の事件は薄い霧の中静かに幕を開けたのだった。
Neat. 19th
Big Ben,
February.
y'all.
10% discount at Disney has expired.
Naruhodō, did you manage to sleep last night?
I was asleep for an entire month.
and I still don't want to get out of bed.
No, not at all.
Why though? That hotel was rather luxurious. The room could have been mistaken for a palace. It was nothing short of dazzling. The gas lamps were countless of glittering stars, making the night shine brighter than day.
Wow, imagine just how much that bed was worth. I tossed and turned all night just to make sure I got a full use of its size.
So did I. That was the night of my dreams. Except... when I learned the lodging cost £3, I realized my nightmare's only just begun.
Sorry. The building was so overwhelmingly beautiful, I have wandered in before I could regain control.
Back in Japan, we could have used that same amount for over a year of safe shelter.
That is a big difference for those who don't know. Like, housing is dirt cheap in Japan. Like, it is significant. Like, living in Japan, costs are significantly lower for, like, rent or...
Shit, man, this lawyer about to become homeless.
When I parted with our dear money, my tears would have just stopped flowing.
Really, I'm so sorry.
Anyway, we have to find a cheap lodging as soon as we possibly can.
Also,
Good luck with that, kids.
also, fun fact: apparently, Japan is actually cheaper to eat out than it is to cook at home.
Oh, that feels all kinds of wrong. Well, then again, I think probably their fast food is probably a lot healthier than our fast food. Being real.
Yeah. Anyways.
If we can't do that in 10 days, we're sure to run out of our student allowance.
London is a formidable foe.
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming in so early.
Oh, likewise, sir.
Good morning, Lord Chief Justice Vortex. We have arrived today to report on yesterday's trial.
Sato can talk to him without flinching. Her composure is really something else.
I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
I trust that you enjoy your first taste of the great British trials.
Yes, sir. In fact, I tasted so much law, I'm downright full of it.
Thus, he has done exactly as you ordered, Lord Chief Justice. Ryūnosuke Naruhodō has carried out his duties to completion.
Oh, yes. I've already heard about the events of yesterday's trial. Your defense was remarkable. You pass.
Huh?
Exchange student for the Empire of Japan. You will now be recognized as an attorney. Even for our country, meeting such promising youth from the Far East is a tremendous delight. Keep in mind, we're filing a case for, and now he's
now we're an actual lawyer.
That guy. Thank you so much. I'm now an attorney.
And I prepared a new assignment to test your skills as a fresh young attorney. You should get started on it immediately. Understood?
A new assignment? Already?
As an attorney, the best way to develop your skills is through experience. I dare not ask, but do you object to your assignment?
I don't know what to say to this, but I'm not satisfied with yesterday's verdict.
You're not satisfied with it? As I recall, you want a not guilty verdict. What more could you possibly want? I am the judge!
Yes, hi, Judge. How's it going?
You won't see me again!
And then there's this asshole.
Hello there.
I saw a Photoshop of his head on Flowey. I'm scarred.
It's not even the worst things they did with him.
Kazumi Magundal. Was he truly innocent?
Naruhodō!
I still can't say for sure. But despite that, the trial's already over.
You won't have to worry about that anymore, I can assure you.
Huh?
Whatever do you mean?
Kazumi Magundal is dead. He died just after the end of the trial.
What? Excuse me? What?
What?
What? Mr. Magundal is dead?
Yep, Magundal's dead.
What, did he die in the fire of that thing, or?
Yeah.
Say that thing.
I must depart in 19 minutes and 41 seconds. Until then, I'm able to talk, if but for a while. Willy Wonka!
Oh god, I missed this!
Shit, who's sitting with the chocolate factory now?
He's finally got him!
Is that your badge? Just because.
The health department finally got his ass!
Anyways.
What do you mean he's dead? How did Magundal die?
At the end of yesterday's trial, chaos erupted in the courtroom. I assume you recall the omnibus that was brought into the court.
Yeah, I was brought to be examined as the scene of the crime.
That's right. At some point, when the bailiffs weren't looking, it suddenly went up in flames.
What?
How could you let this happen?
We are currently investigating that matter. Furthermore, we discovered Magundal's corpse amongst the coach's burnt remains.
Okay, so yeah, he did die in there, alright?
Yeah, he burned in that fire. He got
What?
burned the fuck alive.
Yep. You must have entered the coach while the bailiffs weren't looking.
These bailiffs sound like awful slackers.
How could you let this happen? I'm saying this again!
Why are you saying you?
I'm
Fuck!
currently investigating that as well. What's a delay? Wait. I don't know why. Just Susanna cursing is funny.
That reminds me of
I
something.
was totally expecting her to go into like a pouty face or whatever.
At the end of the trial, Mr. Burgunder said something that bothered me.
My ass is about to die.
I'm dead now. Who wants my factory? You can buy it. It's up for sale on eBay. Inspect the crime scene. Scotland Yard had no such arrangements made, to my knowledge.
And who did this?
I wouldn't worry. The Yard is putting all their investigation battle to the test here. You can leave the rest to them. There's no need for either of you to pay any mind.
Mr. Magundal.
It's dead.
Yes, that's what that means.
He turned into melted chocolate.
Even all Augustus on that, alright.
Okay, he's Willy Wonka now, alright. We'll work with
He's
this.
been Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
He turned into melted chocolate. Oh no. By the way, how was your first trial on Crown Court?
Oh, it was, well, amazing.
You were overwhelmed by its noble aura. Indignity bore of his burned...
Born of its venerable profound history.
Born of its venerable...
That.
Yeah.
Our own country's Supreme Court is no match, as only been around for decades at best.
Sado really has a way with words when it comes to time to be eloquent.
Excuse my tongue twister, please. My friend Naruhodō is so impressed that he's been rendered speechless, as you can see.
Our courts are the pinnacle of law. You would do well to learn from them while you still can.
Pinnacle, he says.
I have to say, though, it was some stroke of fortune that you could take such a...
Simple.
Transcript, backlog.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to say, though, it was some stroke of fortune that you could take such a simple case for your first trial here.
Simple, my lord.
As I said yesterday, there's no way you could lose.
Excuse my rudeness, my lord, but that case was no means simple. What the fuck?
Vortex, my guy!
When we first heard about the details of the case, we felt like we were at such a disadvantage. Even now, I still can't believe we managed to seize a not guilty verdict. What's the matter?
I'm sorry. Excuse me for that. But in the end, the verdict was indeed not guilty. And it was because of your skill as an attorney. You said that that's all there is to it, right?
No, my lord. That's not exactly what I was trying to say.
Regardless, you have exceeded my expectations. I assure you, that is nothing but the truth. And that is why I've already arranged a new case for you.
What exactly is Chief Justice Vortex trying to imply just now?
Take the W, shut up.
What exactly does this new case entail?
Don't tell me it's another murder trial. Or is that just gonna start in 10 minutes or something?
Please, there's no need to worry. The circumstances surrounding this trial are completely different after all.
I see. Is he really reading my mind?
At the very least, nobody has died yet. But the trial is not today either. You have ample time to carry out your investigation.
Takes till case 4 to have a normal trial, jeez.
Yeah?
To be precise, you had 23 hours, 23 minutes, and 19 seconds.
Okay. The trial tomorrow, then.
Is something the matter, Naruhodō?
Oh, I was just feeling a little conflicted. I was wondering if I feel like I made the right decision as his attorney during yesterday's trial.
Naruhodō!
I'm not sure if I'm ready to stand in court again with the way I feel now.
Oh, that reminds me. There is actually one similarity between yesterday and tomorrow. Once again, not a single man is willing to step up to the challenge.
What?
At this rate, tomorrow's trial will be forced to begin without a defense attorney present. And of course, I'm sure you know.
There is nothing at the end of that path except for the worst possible conclusion.
Well, that sounds about right.
Again?
Not again! I'm afraid my time is up. I must excuse myself. I strongly suggest that you two begin preparing for tomorrow immediately. After all, there are a mere 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds left until the trial.
Called that ample time not long ago.
Oh, one more thing, Master Naruhodō. There is one thing I would like to inquire of you.
Sir, what is it?
As I recall, yesterday you said thus. You wish to carrying on the exchange student Kazuma Osogi's will. I got stuck on that K. I want you to clearly explain what you meant by that. You have 34 seconds.
Huh? He'd always be able to talk about how he wanted, to study the world's leading justice system, and change the laws of the Empire of Japan. I'm gonna keep his stream alive, though. There's another reason.
Oh?
What might this other reason be?
Nassim's ship's captain, he said something cryptic to me.
I'll say this again. There's something you absolutely have to do in Britain, no matter what.
What did he absolutely have to do? Again, I want you to tell me in clear terms.
I didn't ask him. I was sure he would have told me when we arrived in Great Britain, but...
Time's up. I'm grateful that you told me such an entertaining story, though.
What exactly are you talking about just now? Naruhodō? Kazuma never told me anything like that.
The two of you want to focus on the case at hand. I've already spoken to the inspector leading the investigation. There he is!
Oh my.
I presume he will give you the details if you ask.
When did he get here?
Now, I pray for your good fortune. There he is! I see him!
Alright, calm down.
What secret was Kazuma keeping from me? What was he planning to do?
I don't know. He really didn't tell me. Anyway, maybe we should go speak with the inspector now.
Yes, we ought to do just that.
I can see a hint of the spitefulness from the eyes he glares for me. Alright.
Nom 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 nom.
Excuse me, could we have a moment of your time, sir?
Do I look like I have any time to spare?
Whoa! Nice weather we're having, huh?
Does the weather look nice to you?
Whoa!
Listen
Japanese,
to me,
Japanese.
Jap. Listen to me, Jap. Listen real good. Don't go around thinking that any old British gentleman decided to talk about the weather.
That's what Susanoo told me.
I'm very busy right now. More busy than you could ever imagine.
How's the fish responding? That's what
I don't know.
Sheer willpower.
Yeah, he's that hungry.
You know what it is? You know of Seuss's time travel pizza?
Yeah, it's that time travel pizza just come.
This man got a time wish.
This man got, he got a fucking time wish. I don't know how he did, but he got it.
Yeah, he time wished fish and chips.
No, it's one of Willy Wonka's inventions before he died.
Well, I'm here yelling at you. The investigation is still underway at the crime scene.
I'm very sorry.
Oh yeah. I'm willing to bet they're saying all kinds of things behind my back right now. Hey, where's that guy been? Who knows? He acts like such a big shot, but he must be slacking. All thanks to some bloody foreign bumpkin who came to London just to frolic and have fun. Can you hear the sound of my policeman's prestige falling? Because I certainly can.
I can tell this won't be easy.
Greetings, sir. I believe we haven't met. My friend here is Ryūnosuke Naruhodō, a defense attorney. And I am his legal assistant. We're both deeply pleased to make your acquaintance today.
Oh.
I must say, the weather is truly beautiful today.
Absolutely. It's not often that you get to see such a clear sky during a London winter.
Amazingly well done, Susanoo.
Lord Vortex asked me to give you large details on the case. My name is Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard.
Inspector Gregson!
Huh?
I love this man's theme.
His name got quite a reaction out of her. I wonder if she knows him from somewhere.
I don't know where it is when it comes to me, detective thieves, but I always tend to like them a lot.
Well, they tend to be really catchy, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Gregson's theme more than Sherlock's theme.
I'll have to listen to it in full, but yeah.
I disagree, but whatever.
Inspector. Might you be the same Inspector Gregson as the Inspector Gregson?
It just pops in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Boop. You want to see me do it again? What? Sada, do you know this man, even though he's from London?
Of course I do. Who wouldn't?
I guess I wouldn't.
He's a recurring character in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Of course. Oh, are you talking about the Strand magazine again?
Inspector Gregson is other than the Sherlock Holmes' rival.
Oh, you know, besides the fan-made Arsene character, you know. Besides oh, his rival? That's actually pretty impressive.
Well, yes, I suppose so.
Also, yes, chat, I really want fish and chips now, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, my friend said that as we were going through.
Well, no, it's like, especially if just like, man, if there's like one thing I miss from restaurants right now, it's like, they're real, like, pub fish and chips, you know? It's like, I miss that food so much.
I have never had fish.
I've tried them sometimes. They're good. Alright.
Very good.
They're fried fillet.
Hang on, there we go. There we go. I have to say that Holmes does pretty well himself for an amateur.
Mr. Holmes has spoken very high praise of Inspector Gregson as well. Gregson is the smartest man in Scotland Yard. He's a pick of a lot, he said.
That doesn't sound like much of a compliment to me.
Well, Mr. Holmes isn't the type of person to sing praises of others in the first place.
That's right! Because of that blasted magazine, I've become famous all over all the world over!
That's a good thing, right?
I'll admit, it wasn't so bad at first. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the Yard was at an all-time high.
That sounds great.
However, you must never underestimate how terrifying man can be. Just then, I've always had a feeling that people were staring at me, talking behind my back.
Talking behind your back?
You had a feeling.
That's what that's going to be a good night. He's changed ever since he completed those novels. Look at him, acting like a big shot.
Have people really been saying such awful things?
Like I said, he did it behind my back, so I can't really make out what they're saying. However, that's the feeling I get. There's definitely no doubt about it.
Feels like this inspector is gonna be more difficult to work with.
You take that back.
Yes, it seems that sudden fames come with its own share of troubles.
So, what about the case that Lord Chief Justice wanted us to talk to you about?
Well, if I were to put it simply, this is probably the easiest case that a detective could possibly work with.
Then are you saying that this is probably the most difficult case that a defense attorney could work with?
I should hope not, but definitely looks that way.
A lady walking along Briar Road was stabbed in the back with a knife. Fortunately, her life isn't in danger now, but she still remains unconscious at the hospital.
My, that's terrible. Who would stab a real woman in the back like that?
Sure, you just perform a Susato toss on them if you found them.
That's not important right now.
I missed this fight. Didn't have to yell.
Anyway, if we were able to arrest the culprit without wasting too much time on this case. You didn't even have He didn't even have time to enjoy after crime tea before we took him in.
Then you must have found some trace of the culprit at the crime scene, right?
Or maybe there's an especially trustworthy witness testimony.
Ha! Give it up. It's not worth racking your brains over it.
Huh?
No matter how you might try, there's no saving the culprit from his fate this time.
What do you mean?
It's simple. The prosecutor in charge of tomorrow's trial is none other than Lord Barrick von Zeeks.
What?
It seems like you lot already know him.
Yes, we are quite familiar with him. He's the one referred to as the Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper of the Old Pale.
Alright, the Grim Reaper.
So we're against Barrick von
Baroque von Zeeks.
Baroque von Zeeks. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Same prosecutor as yesterday.
If I recall correctly, Mr. McGuntle said...
And he likes to destroy perfectly fine wine glasses and put his foot up.
This is not flashback dialogue. This is
Actual dialogue.
Oh, this is actual new dialogue.
This is actual new dialogue.
This is actual new dialogue. It's just out of.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
shit.
Pat can probably say it. Pat can probably say it, honestly.
Those he prosecutes, they say the Reaper comes to collect his due.
You skipped that line.
Fuck.
No, Single Defend has lived. Gotta do everything for you, Naruhodō.
I'm sorry. I haven't gotten much sleep last night.
You've been sleeping for over a month now. Hold on.
I'm drowsy, okay?
Alright.
Grim Reaper of the Old Bailey, in other words. He's managed to force a guilty on every defendant he's prosecuted, right?
Wait, am I tripping or does this guy look like Luigi in the detective outfit?
I mean, I've heard the joke before.
Admittedly, yeah, I did pick Luigi when I saw him from the distance, yeah.
Alright. Hold on, there's some important stuff right here.
Inspector, is that what you're trying to tell us? What if we were to tell you that Naruhodō won a not guilty verdict against the Reaper?
Is that so? Well, what of it?
I mean... Even if the enemy is the Reaper himself, there's still a chance that the defendant may survive.
You two really don't know a thing.
What exactly do you mean, then?
Well, he ended up dying anyway, didn't he?
Huh?
I'm talking about Cosly McGundle. He was burned up along with the carriage, no? No matter how you look at it, it's hard to call that surviving.
What?
If a man could prove every criminal guilty, he'd be considered a god. But Baroque von Zeeks, he's no god. He's the Grim Reaper. In any case, you do well to keep that in mind.
What's going on here?
Yeah, so the thing with Van Zeeks is that it's not that he always wins. Everyone he prosecutes inevitably dies.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, so now I'm curious, does he have anything directly involved with that, or...
Yeah.
Plot thickens.
Now then, since I finished eating, since I finished eating what I have to eat, and I've said what I have to say, well, I've returned to the crime scene. We're in the middle of an investigation, after all.
The site of the incident is at Briar Road. Would I be correct in saying that?
That's right. If you head towards the gallows, you should be able to interview the culprit.
You're already calling him the culprit?
He's shaking like a leaf in the isolation cell. It's a hilarious sight, I tell you. His number is 53. You ask the guard for 53, you should be able to interview him.
Understood. Thank you very much. No defendant can ever be saved from the Grim Reaper. Is that really true?
Naruhodō, what should we do about this case? To be honest, I haven't been able to stop shivering since the trial yesterday. To think that we would have to stand in the Crown Court again, facing the Reaper. It still takes courage to admit when the task is too much for you. You don't have to do this.
That man they arrested is innocent. Then it's only natural he'd be shaking like a leaf in that cell. I can't imagine what kind of monster would just stand there and laugh at such a sight.
Then...
To be honest, I can still feel the intense shock from yesterday's trial. I don't know how much I can do, but I think we should go investigating. Will you assist me?
Yes, of course. You know I'd be glad to. After all, I am your legal assistant.
Then, shall we?
Alright, let's do this!
Alright.
Investigation!
Yeah, God, it's been... Again, takes us till case 4 to do a trial and investigation. I know.
Investigation plus trial.
Prior road...
2 options, bond road or the gaol.
Well,
You want to go to the scene of the crime or meet
Or
the
the
probably
detention
go to
center.
the defendant first.
Detention center, I guess, of
Yeah.
theories.
Alright, hang on, let me get another bottle of water!
Okay, this is a much more depressing
Yeah?
detention center.
Welcome back then.
So this is the gal.
How might I say it? This certainly is an impeccable prison, isn't it?
Well, speaking as a man who was locked up in Japan's jails, I think our simple Japanese jails were far more comfortable than this.
How heartbreaking.
I've been told the client is in the cell, but it's too dark to see further inside. What sort of person could he be?
Alright guys, never to stay, the attorney is here to interview you. Stop hiding in the corner and come out.
I have a name! To call me by a number is outrageous! I refuse to grace you with a reply!
Excuse me, Naruhodō. Do you understand what's going on here?
Your guess is as good as mine. Those bitter words. But definitely in Japanese, though.
It's him.
Who are...
Shh! Be quiet! It must be hiding somewhere. None can hide from my eyes. Surely, right now, right this instant too. It is looking at me, listening to me. I can feel it.
Well, let's try to say...
There you are! Cursed spirit that curses my very life!
Spirit?
Uh-huh.
just gonna keep it here for a little bit.
I love it.
It's just
I love his
Susano's
animation.
His animations are fantastic.
Her stone cold like stature compared to him.
Like, I don't...
Yeah, this definitely feels like a meme screenshot right here.
Do pardon me, might you be... Japanese?
Good heavens! This is... Heavens above, bless me!
Oh, you are a character, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
I do apologize for that loss of composure earlier.
Don't worry about it. It did surprise me a little, though.
However, a year has passed since I left. To think such a situation would transpire in a far-off land. The words of my fellow brethren penetrate my heart upon our meeting at the depths of... Oh, flood of emotions!
What? This is the next client Lord Chief Justice Vortex spoke of.
I love him.
that.
I love him.
Fairy godparents!
Yeah.
Hey, godparents! My gratitude to the motherland! After all, home is where the heart is. For the sake of one mere exchange student, she dispatched one first-rate attorney. Praise the motherland!
This guy looks like he's doing a fighting game dash right now.
It looks like he was stabbing.
First-rate attorney? Looks like there's a huge misunderstanding here.
In any case, would you be willing to tell us your story, good sir? For example, we'd like to know about your arrest as a suspect.
I, of course, with pleasure. Jumping up for joy!
I don't quite understand what he's saying, but he seems happy.
Yes, he does. Let's hope his trust isn't misplaced. Pleased to
But you
make
don't
your
see if we
acquaintance.
do it
I'm
emotions.
Ryūnosuke Naruhodō, an attorney.
As for me, I am Suzato Mikotomo. I'm a legal assistant.
I am an exchange student sent to Great Britain for the Empire of Japan. Soseki Natsumi is my name.
He's a real person, by the way.
Yeah, that is basically. It's like Natsumi is a real person.
Yeah, he is.
Soseki Natsume.
Soseki Natsume, was it? That's an interesting name.
Well, you see, I am quite fond of writing haiku. You can think of it as a pen name, I suppose.
A pen name, huh? That's where you take on a different name for an offer to work, right?
Yes, that is generally the case.
That's all there is to it! There's a kind of refined elegance to the title!
In any case, I have to say that hearing about the haiku makes me feel like I'm back in Japan.
That reminds me, earlier you said you were an exchange student, correct?
Yes, the Japanese government sent me here 1 year ago to study the English language. I had no choice but to comply, but look at the situation it has put me in! They've ruined me!
You had no choice? You mean you didn't want to participate in the exchange?
That's not quite true! I've always wanted to defend the British Empire!
Uh-huh.
However, it was a ridiculous demand to begin with, and even more so coming from the government!
What exactly do you mean?
Asking me to study English literature would at least be within the realms of my field. But to study the English language? I'm not even an idea on where to start. Simply absurd!
Chop! Chop!
Boy!
Boy!
Let me give you these hands!
B-O-I! In fact, the other day, I received a directive asking me to report my progress this past year. Because of their sheer nerve, I submitted a blank sheet of paper in response. That will show them!
Okay, that one is a dab. Like an ye old dab.
Hey, look at this left hand on the top. Ha, got him.
Got him.
Okay. Modern meme aside, you must be a rather important person to be able to do that.
Susato, what's this meme you speak of? What does your book say? What does the book say? What is a meme?
There's some dark lore in the internet, Naruhodō.
What
You
is
don't wanna know.
lore?
Where is the internet? Ah, yes! People often tell me that.
You said it so proudly.
Can our raid hashtag be daps in Japanese?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, put that in our Discord chat so we remember it for later.
Okay, got it.
So, what suspicion? Oh, sorry, not Suzanne.
Oh, so what suspicion are you arrested under?
I had no hand in it. I would never be able to commit such an atrocious act as murder.
Murder?
Oh, that's right. She didn't actually die.
Yet.
She was stabbed with a dagger right in front of me!
Tell you, Red was pretty sus.
Right?
Oh, right.
Oh, right in front of you? Then that means you saw the culprit. Did he go in the vent? Did he go in the vent?
You pushed the report button!
Come on.
I did not.
You are supposed to hit the report button. Come on.
Okay, so Zeki vote him off.
Huh?
If I did, I would not be. If I did, I would not be in such a predicament right now.
Which means the situation here isn't so simple. Please don't press the button.
Of all places, why did she go out of her way to get stabbed right in front of me? That's right. This must all be due to the curse of those one dispute.
Oh my god, dude.
She had the nerve to get stabbed in front of me.
She got stabbed, but most importantly, she got stabbed in front of me.
God damn it. Now they think I'm sus.
Am I going to have to since you're talking?
Oh, you cursed pest!
The prayer circle pose.
So, despite him being present as it happened, he didn't actually see the culprit. He goddamn vented!
In any case, we should ask him for more details on the incident. Please don't throw him.
The real killer self-reported.
You joke about that? We had that happen last night.
Okay. It had just stopped snowing. The streets of that cursed land were shrouded by fog. I was on my way back to I was on my way back to my cursed flat after making my cursed purchase at the bookshop.
Looks like he's cursed in all sorts of ways.
There was but one other individual walking in front of me along that cursed road. She was wearing a green overcoat, and I was about to pass her by. It happened. It was a dark and stormy night. She suddenly let out a short cry, and then she collapsed onto the cold ground.
Oh, how terrible.
I begged her to speak, but she would not open her mouth to respond. The sense of death!
But she isn't dead.
She big though. Terrified, I seized the first opportunity to flee from the cursed scene.
It doesn't look like an actual. It more looks like a Vincent adult man kind of thing, where it looks like a kid like dressing up like an adult. You know?
Dang.
I think it might be. I think it might be the head. The head looks kind of small in comparison.
No.
Man, boy, she think.
She's been stabbed, guys. Please.
People are dying. People are getting stabbed.
She's not dead. She's just died. What's worse, getting stabbed and lived, or getting stabbed and died?
Whichever puts out the pain.
Now you walk around your entire life thinking people are gonna stab you. I know you won't.
Oh boy.
At full speed, mind you. Okay.
You ran back to your flat.
That might not have been your best decision.
Why are you playing Among Us, sir?
As a Japanese man, I should probably be ashamed for what I did.
You said, why are you playing Among Us? And I literally had 2 Steam notifications that came up for friends playing Among Us right now.
Well, that's what she was referring to.
Oh, you guys can see that? Okay, alright.
Yeah.
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 They can't.
They can't see it
By
on stream, so they're good.
By the way, did you happen to know the victim at all?
Not to the slightest! I am not acquainted with any blonde Brits, let alone young women! It seems you fail to understand just how much I managed to keep myself cooped up in my flat!
Geez, the victim was a young woman. By the way, besides the two of you, anyone else walking along the footpath?
Unfortunately, I did not catch sight of anyone other than that woman.
What? No one else was there?
The victim was a complete stranger, and there was nobody else present. If that really is the case, then this is quite curious.
Huh? What is about it's curious?
Press my
Persian.
prompt, naruhodō.
Persian.
Oh my god, Persian!
I mean, realistically, it would actually hit her go into the fat. So.
So, what do you
That
mean
makes
by quite curious?
There is just something about Soseki's story so far that doesn't add up. The victim was a complete stranger to him, and there was no one else at the scene. Furthermore, he ran away from the scene, so nobody would be able to see him.
Indeed!
But if that's the case, then that means Soseki must be the culprit.
No! What did you just say?
Nothing! I didn't say anything! I should learn to keep my mouth shut.
That's not quite what I'm getting at. I was curious about how exactly Soseki managed to get arrested.
Huh?
Soseki made no contact with the victim. There was no one else at the scene. How then did the Scotland Yard track him down?
Oh, she's right.
It was him! Thanks to that man's cursed great deduction, I ended up getting arrested! Why must I suffer this shame?
Cursed? Great deduction? No way.
I'll remember that man's name until the day I die. He called himself a great detective, then laughed an unforgettably obnoxious laugh. Be gone, cursed soul! The Sherlock Holmes! I'll curse you until the day I die!
Thanks a lot, Holmes.
Really, it was him.
Mr. Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
Never would have guessed we'd hear his name here.
After I escaped that nightmarish scene, one cursed night passed. While I was gnawing on my hard French bread, several men suddenly stormed into my room. Ran from the yard! Drop our weapons and shit! No matter how hard it may have been, who would call fresh bread a weapon? Spartan lifestyle!
I see you went to Michigan State. Okay. You've had quite a rough time of it, huh?
And there he stood in the middle of all those detectives with that blindingly wide grin. And his name was none other than the Sherlock Holmes.
No, I actually don't think "the" is part of his full name.
Afterwards, I learned. Oh wow! This started straight a little bit. Afterwards, I learned that he's the greatest detective in London.
I suppose that's what the great in The Great Detective comes from.
With his all too clever deductions, he managed to pinpoint where I lived. He then had the nerve to accuse me, a frail hunchback man, as a knife-wielding maniac!
I wonder what kind of a great, amazing deduction he came up with this time.
I must say, though, were you arrested solely due to Mr. Holmes' great deductions? Even that would be too heavily handed for that lot.
Well, to be honest, when they started into my room that morning, confusion took me.
Why, of course, that's only natural.
They interrogated me with the fast, difficult English words as I stood and trembled. Cowardly Brits!
Well, this is the British Empire after all. Of course they would speak English.
I began to panic, but I knew I had to respond to the verbal assault. So I simply responded with, "Yes, I do, and I'm fine," again and again. Before I realized it, I had my hair cut and thrown in here.
Well, I would have probably thrown you in jail too.
What a guy.
Master naruhodō!
Just naruhodō is fine.
Excuse me. It seems I've been taken over by my British culture. Am I to understand that you will accept my case to defend me? Is it true? Is it too good to be true? Is it permissible for me to believe in that's truth?
Well...
Why? Why has the cat got your tongue?
Really, I'm just an exchange student. I'm the same as you, Soseki.
You're an exchange student?
I've stood in the attorney in the British courts once, but... what am I supposed to believe in? What guides my struggles in these foreign courts? I haven't come to an understanding of that yet.
Naruhodō.
And even worse, I'm not a proper law student in the first place. I'm a substitute at best.
But there are been! That's proof that you are a Japanese attorney, no?
This is a memento of the man I'm imitating. He was my best friend.
Memento? I am well aware. I am well aware of what they all say about me.
What do you mean by they?
None of those British attorneys care to defend me.
Why not?
You two were right. The footpath where the crime occurred was empty, save for the victim and myself. Worse even, I fled the scene. They can't help but think I must be the culprit. I know that.
Soseki.
And above all, I am an exchange student. I am nothing but a suspicious foreigner to this great British Empire. A trial for him? What a waste of time! Undoubtedly, that horrid Jap did the deed. All those attorneys stood before me and laughed at me as if it was a cruel joke. He won't understand half of what we say anyhow. But I knew.
It's awful.
I studied English more fervently than any of those stuffy Big City policemen. I crossed the very seas to show my reverence and my desire to learn this enduring language. Manaria's soul is willing to lend an ear to a poor, hunchback foreigner. At the least, I would be overjoyed to entrust my fate to a fellow countryman, one who knows my plight. Yet I dare not thrust it upon you, forcing you to bear an unbearable burden. When I look into your eyes, I can see the many burdens you've already placed on yourself.
Soseki. I need some time to think about this. First, I'll try and do whatever I can right now.
What does that entail?
We intend to investigate this incident in intense detail from this moment forth. We hope to find some sort of lead, and use it to help you in some way.
Very well. I will be waiting for you, substitute law student naruhodō!
Let's proceed with our investigation, naruhodō. The game is afoot!
Can you present your
I
question?
gotta pee!
Oh wait, if Jason's gonna leave them.
Oh.
I mean, you just no wait. No, I said if Jason's gonna leave.
Oh.
Well, in the meantime, you can wait. Go to core record. You can examine the.
Yeah, we'll just leave it in this pose.
Oh wait, you can examine it.
This pair of scales, one could say it's a symbol of an ace attorney.
Yes, that is correct. Scales represent the idea that everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. It serves as a caution that one mustn't enter the course with bias in their heart.
It's a symbol of defense attorney specifically. I think it would work better if the scales lean towards not guilty instead.
That certainly is a unique opinion.
Can you check anywhere else around it?
Oh.
Oh.
You can see an attorney's name embroidered here. The name of the art band's owner, Kazuma Sogi.
Kazuma seems to be entirely fixated on the exchange trip to the British Empire.
Agreed. The truth that he was searching for must have been here in Britain. But looks like he lost his life before he could ever find the truth.
His throw and his hope still lies within this armband.
Alright, you can continue with the dialogue.
Yeah.
That is certainly a unique opinion.
Alright.
Oh, this is proof! Okay. Oh, this is proof that the Empire of Japan has recognized you as the first-rate attorney! This must mean that you really will be acting as my defense!
No, that's not exactly why I'm showing you this.
Why else would you show something like this?
Whoops. Probably shouldn't have gotten his hopes up like that.
How dare you? How dare
We're out of here.
Alright.
Okay, let's go
wait,
before he explodes on us.
What happened?
No, there is, they actually made, like, the investigation, in this game a little bit easier. Like, so, when you go back to that screen, when you're choosing which place to go, at the bottom of the top screen, Susanna will make a...
Yeah. Whoever's with you gives you, like, tells you stuff about the location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think she will also tell you, I think...
If there's anything left there.
Yeah.
Okay, well then again, I think... Didn't in Spirit of Justice they wouldn't even
No, they just had the notes of just, like, blatantly just go here, do this, go there, do that.
Yeah. So, like, that's one thing I do like of the 3DS games, is that they basically make it so it's impossible.
They're more streamlined, because let's remember, the DS games, we always got hella lost.
Yeah, it's basically impossible to get lost in the 3DS games of the investigation, so yeah.
I remember getting lost in the OG games.
All the time.
Especially
all
the studio and especially the circus. Were like the two I immediately think of where, oh god, I was lost.
I remember you got lost in case 2 of Trials and Tribulations.
For me, the first case of custom might be truly getting lost is case 5 of Ace Attorney 1.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
God.
Specifically, for me, was the second day.
Yeah. This
That's
is where I
fair.
wrote the scene of the crime.
Take a look over there, Naruhodō.
I swear if it's the snowman. Okay, good.
Do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman.
Wow, but that's something Kingdom Hearts 3.
I recognize those uniforms anywhere. There's no mistaking that helmet-like cap. It's Scotland Yard. The Yard's policemen are all conducting their investigations.
The snow. Someone took a piss in it.
Well, yeah, that's what policemen do.
Of course, they're the Scotland Yard, you know? I admired them since I saw the illustration of them in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Yes, I do love those steel helmets.
Huh? You only care about their helmets?
Oh, if only I could don that helmet. Don't you just want to try it on?
I, hope you get the experience that cold metal.
And I want fan art of that.
Shut. What are you doing over? What are you doing? What are you doing over there, Japanese children?
I don't know. It's only been like 30 minutes. Why do you have another thing of fish and chips on you?
This is the same one, bitch.
I always have fish and chips on me. What do you want?
Oh, it's Inspector Gregson.
What are you buying?
What are you buying? What are you buying? You should be vaguely aware by now, but you're not on a sightseeing trip here. So what are you selling?
We know. We are investigating the crime scene.
Oh, so it looks like you went to the gallows. That must mean that you met the culprit.
Also, by the way, someone mentioned in chat that gal is actually just pronounced jail. Just straight up.
Oh, okay.
It's just jail, I guess? Apparently.
I don't see how that would...
Old school English, I hate it.
Yeah.
Old school English. Let's say that.
Yeah, if a phrase sounds different than
That's not the first time I heard that it's pronounced just jail.
Oh wait, no. Like in old school English, I kind of see where they're actually coming from.
Yeah.
Because when you actually break it down, like jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's old school English, damn it.
He's not the culprit. He's only a suspect.
I suppose you're just trying to help out a fellow Jap, eh? Well, you're free to do what you like. It's not my problem. You won't be able to change the result of tomorrow's trial anyway.
It's like he's trying to freeze us solid with his cold aloofness.
I'm sure you can blame London's freezing cold winter for that feeling.
I don't think that's right.
Oh, by the way, examining this whole area is actually optional.
Well, examining the area is optional?
I mean, you might as well do some dialogue here.
The one I want to examine the snowman.
Look, what an adorable snowman.
Wow, they make those in Great Britain too? He's a little crooked though.
But look here, he's got a scarf wrapped around him.
It's blistering cold though, I wouldn't mind a scarf.
Maybe some other time. Our roads are already pretty breezy as it is.
Maybe I should just borrow that snowman scarf.
If you did that, I'm sure whoever built that snowman would be heartbroken.
Yeah, I know. Besides, even if I did borrow it, it'd just make my neck even colder than it already is. I'll do this one and then I'll...
No, like, I think you should also talk to the
Scotland Yard people?
Yeah, policeman.
This is a police buggy from Scotland Yard. The yard used these to rush to the crime scene and lock up criminals.
You sure know a lot about this stuff, Sato.
It's been my long life dream of mine to ride through London on one of these.
Then why don't you try breaking a window on with one of those rocks over there?
If I did that, I'll end up on the criminal side of the buggy. But be that as it may, if there's no other way, I'll have to make do. I'll go search for a suitable rock.
Wait, no, I was just joking!
Don't go by a face. Never go by a face.
Do it, you won't.
You won't.
An officer of Scotland Yard, I guess he's on guard duty over there. Feel like if I got too close, he'd arrest me on an instant.
You worry too much, Naruhodō. We haven't done anything wrong, so it should be fine to do as we please.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's already happened to me twice. I've been handcuffed 2 times now, having done absolutely nothing wrong!
Oh, what a shame. It might be because your eyes start about so much.
Anything?
Damn, Susato.
Yeah.
Oh, you can examine the other side, by the way.
Oh,
There's a whole left side.
You can move.
Oh. Ooh.
Wowie, an English bicycle. But the wheel of this one is just so horribly, unbelievably bent.
Maybe somebody was just training really hard. It looks like they were riding for their life.
It seems like bicycles are really popular in London right now. Also, there's been some sort of movements to alter women's clothing so they can ride them too.
Can't see that lasting very long. After all, no one will be riding them anymore.
You don't say. Naruhodō, do you have a problem with bicycles?
No way, of course not. It's not like I hate them. It's just taking both feet off the ground feels really reckless. Anyone would understand that after falling from their stilts into the river.
Next time I rent a bike, I'll just let you sit behind me.
How does this work? How am I not falling? We should be tipping over. This is bullshit.
Defies all logic.
Susanoo and her kimono riding the bike with Naruhodō.
Wow. Real
Can I get an edit of that? No,
Do they fucking falls off because the seat's too small? I told you they're the devil.
No, I want the riding the bike meme where he falls over and then Naruhodō just blames Banzix.
Can I get a picture of a Naruhodō looking at a bike with it saying, "This is stupid."
This is stupid.
Can't believe how gray and cloudy it is here. What's more, the fog is so thick I can barely see what's in front of me.
It seems that they weren't joking when they call London the smoke.
Way off amidst the fog, I can faintly make out what seems to be a tower being built.
That's the Crystal Tower. It's being built at the World's Fair to be held half a year from now. I heard the whole tower will be covered in glass. It'll be the grandest symbol of the fair yet.
I got a feeling that's got something to do with DGS too, if it's in half a year from this point. Greatest fair in the world, huh? Hardly imagine.
The smoke, huh? I love California.
Oh.
I'm living in Connecticut.
Alright.
An old resident made from bricks. I can really sense the history built upon those walls.
There's so much history in it, in fact, that the whole building is tilted. That old house looks especially dilapidated, even from this part of town.
We should probably be looking for some cheap lodging of our own.
Yeah, you're right. Preferably somewhere cheap and not tilted if all possible. Also, real talk, Susanoo's gotta be freezing, like, during this.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's just a Komodo? Like...
Well, the thing is, like, if you actually, the thing is, we actually look at her outfit. It's not entirely a Komodo. It's the upper half is definitely a Komodo, but she's wearing something else in the bottom half.
I still don't think that would be enough to...
Oh yeah, no, she's not freezing, but it's not. She's not.
She has fucking heat pads from the future just all over her.
Imported them for the future.
The thing about her design is the fact that in this time period, women were highly encouraged to wear kimonos, but because Susanoo's father encouraged her to do whatever she wanted, so that way she can get ahead in life. Her clothing actually goes into that because her style of dressing actually stands out a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you read that in the art book, motherfucker?
So Susanoo has a good father, unlike most people.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Ever since I laid eyes on its illustration in Mr. Holmes' novels, I dreamed of visiting it.
I lost the voice, so I'm trying to find it again.
I do remember when I was voicing this with my friend, voicing Gregson fucking killed me.
What do you do?
What? I guess, let me try. Scotland Yard is the world's most capable police force, or something like that.
Hey,
Scotland Yard is the world's most capable police force.
Scotland Yard is the most capable police force, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a lifelong dream of mine to wear one of those iron helmets.
Okay, here we go. Here's the dialogue.
When I see you go wearing one of those helmets, I can't help but feel like the image practically screams this city is under my protection.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Well, Scotland Yard is actually much more labor-intensive than it looks.
Is that true?
Scotland has a father.
A rather wearing courage and hates attorney.
Damn!
You know, that's really true, though. That's really true.
He's not wrong, though!
Yeah.
He's really not wrong,
Games.
though!
There's... Fathers don't exist.
There's like, you know, there's Nick, and,
oh, Gregory Edgeworth! Oh!
There's Edgeworth.
He doesn't have a kid.
No, I mean like Gregory Edgeworth, but he kind of.
That dude in Spirit of Justice, but.
I mean, Manfred von Karma technically was, but
yeah, he did.
I mean, and then there's Apollo.
Apollo's gone for like 3 different dads at this point.
I mean, Trixie had her OG dad, but
yeah, that's a better dad now. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
who else?
Actually, you know, when I think about it, I think Susanoo actually does legit have the best dad of the series.
That
Damn!
Wait, okay, yeah, I was about to say Nick, but also I was about to say Nick, but at the same time, Nick just has.
Is he really that great? Is that really how great of a father is he really? Honestly, looking at.
No, like in comparison to all the other fathers, Nick comes in second.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick tries, okay?
Also, Jason, look what I put in the
And Edward's dad is in 3rd place. He's a 3rd because he's dead.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, let's continue.
Take our early mornings, for example. First, our constables have to run around the city, waking up all the workers.
What? You mean everyone in the city?
They knock on people's windows with a long rod. I had to do it too a long time ago.
That's quite something.
All of our work is for London citizens. It's only natural. After that, our constables start patrolling their beats. They take no breaks until the day is done. Pat hasn't played Investigations 2 yet.
Investigation.
I mean, you haven't.
Like, don't worry. I'll get to Investigations 1 and 2. Like, we'll probably do that while we wait for DGS 2 to get translated. But yeah,
that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Incrustations, fine.
Incrustations. There's even a quota for how long they had to walk. 20 miles a day.
I have no idea how long that is, but I can't imagine it's a long distance because no one uses the same.
That's how it feels like, honestly, whenever someone says something like that. I'm sure that's a long.
Because they use the metric system in Japan. In Europe, it's the other system. Whatever.
Where's?
No, I also could have sworn that Europe also.
Wait, is it just the US that we just have our?
Yeah, we're weird.
Yeah. Everyone else uses the metric system except.
Hey Miles, do you know what your name would be outside the U.S.? Well, kilometers.
All right, according to Google Chrome, it would be a distance from Tokyo to Yokohama if you were to walk on foot.
I'm going to Google Maps.
I feel like that kind of trick would make me feel like more of a wreck.
Also, Susanoo pulling up Google Maps on her Google book again. Once it gets dark, another important job is to light all the gas lamps.
My.
And between all of that, you have to investigate an odd case once in a while, right?
Not to mention, they occasionally have to chase down lawbreakers.
I'm not sure I like how you're making those duties sound like side jobs. Anyway, that's how it is. Some of our men have even collapsed during their shifts.
Excuse me, 1 minute. Hold on. Be right back.
Alright. From walking, okay, I think it's walking, 6 hours and 50 minutes, so like basically 7 hours. Cool. Let me see if I can get more.
Hey Doc, I have a problem. My meter's hurt.
32.2 kilometers, basically, is what it says.
Remind me to draw Suzuto on a bicycle with Naruhodō later.
Hey Sophie, don't forget to draw Suzuto on a bicycle later.
Now I'm just thinking that what's it called? Comic panel, like the comic cover for like Miles Morales, like that thing is like it shows like an evil Miles Morales. Ah yes, Kilometers Morales. Kilometers per hour. But then,
Would Holmes drive a unicycle?
Holmes would drive the home cycle. And
motherfucker would use a 5-wheel bike and invent that himself.
Yeah, the home cycle.
Yeah, the 5-wheel bike.
But whatever that word means, what word means, that's what he would ride.
He'd invent roller skates.
I'm looking up Holmes.
Roller skates are called the quad bikes.
Yeah, quad bikes.
I looked up Home Cycle and there's actually a repair company.
Good for them.
That
Good for them.
repairs bicycles. That's cute.
Wait a minute. I just found this on Reddit.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna go finish my banana.
You know what? I'll post this in the chat too.
Oh. It's a good man. A good thing.
There better be a naked cheerleader under your bed.
Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had when we were talking, I had a bit of like air in my chest that like wouldn't come out kind of thing, so needed to get that out because yeah. Anyway.
I've always looked up to those iron helmets, but now perhaps Naruhodō deserves more of the honor of wearing one, in my opinion.
I doubt I'll be able to handle something with so much weight riding on it.
The crime was committed 2 days ago at 5 p.m. It was on that open road over there. It was there that the victim, a young, sick woman, was stabbed in the back.
Oh my god.
Oh god. The lady's still unconscious and being treated at this time, correct?
I wouldn't exactly call her a lady. But yes, until she wakes up, you won't even be able to identify her with any certainty.
Which means we won't be able to request the victim's testimony.
Here's a map of the scene. Take it if you want.
Wow, you're giving us this?
It's our policy to give the culprit's attorney the minimum information necessary.
Still haven't agreed to be Soseki's attorney, but okay.
Since he was so kind to offer, we should take it.
Yeah, Gregson doesn't really fight, he doesn't really fight you in terms of keeping information to himself.
Yeah.
Well, either way, at the time, there was nobody at the scene other than the victim and the Japanese man. There's no debating who the culprit is.
I believe Soseki said himself he didn't see anyone else around as well.
But even if Soseki said he didn't see anyone, that doesn't mean the culprit couldn't be anyone else.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what it means.
What?
Nani? After
Nani the
all,
fuck?
That's racist to us.
that's a racist thing you said. You should go to racist jail, young man. They already found a decisive witness who clearly saw the moment of the crime.
Seriously?
And there's 2 of them too to boot.
What? 2?
2?
I know he said Gregson, but I swear to God, I thought he said Brexit.
Oh god, no, please, not that early in England's timeline, please, God, no.
Yeah. The Smoke's famous fog was thinner than usual. That, excuse me, that Jap picked a bad day for murder.
There are 2 witnesses. Who exactly are these witnesses?
You can see that one of them is the most trustworthy witness in London. After all, he's a constable of Scotland Yard.
What?
A constable? This changes things a lot.
A constable just happened to witness the incident taking place.
It's not that unusual. That's why the constables are here, after all.
Do you think that maybe you could tell us more about this constable?
Of course, you're free to ask anything you want. At tomorrow's trial, that is.
Huh?
The constable is absolutely good. The constable is absolutely going to be summoned by the court as a witness. Think of it as an exciting punishment for tomorrow.
Doesn't seem like we're willing to let them meet this witness.
A constable is the witness. As your legal assistant, I'm qualified to say that this will be very disadvantageous to that's a long word.
I don't think you have to be a legal assistant to figure that out. Oh, that reminds me.
What?
The one who found and arrested the suspect was Sherlock Holmes, right?
Listen, boy, don't you ever say that name to me ever again!
Why'd you say that name?
Why did you say that name?
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock. Like, instead of Dinkelberg, Sherlock.
Sherlock.
Yeah, Dinkelberg. Sherlock Holmes. It was Holmes?
Oh.
What's going on? I saw his face darken.
Hey. Tell me who you heard that name from.
Huh? Oh, it was from Soseki told us. He said that Holmes stormed into his room with a bunch of yard officers.
It must have been another one of his great deductions at work.
Don't be ridiculous!
Eep!
That lousy amateur! He's always poking his nose into everything! First, he catches one of his incidents from some bubbling idiot, he runs off to the crime scene. And seconds later, he's circling the area, spewing incomprehensible nonsense. And before you know it, he suddenly solved the entire case!
That's impressive to say the least.
But isn't he an important asset to Scotland Yard?
Nonsense!
Yeah!
Do you know what this is?
Yes, that's the Strand magazine.
It's a magazine that serialized the adventures of Sherlock Holmes!
Well, Rainbow, to be fair, Gregson is more of a gentleman than
Yeah.
Think of shit. In that ridiculous description of a novel, all of the detectives of the Yard are just constantly being insulted by that great detective. In fact, I say they might as well call that drivel the base slanders of Sherlock Holmes.
Well, I do admit it does occasionally come off as such.
We're working as hard as we can, but because of him, we're a laughingstock. He's a terrifying threat, not just to criminals, but to the Yard as well.
Are you sure you should be comparing Scotland Yard to criminals?
Seems like the great detective and the police have a pretty complicated relationship.
I feel like my childhood novels has been crushed right before my very eyes.
What does that seem accurate?
The modern times has crushed my nostalgia. That man's going on trial tomorrow, right? You'll be defending him, I assume.
Well,
whatever the case is, there is one thing I can say for sure. Here in London, no attorney worth his salt would take that man's case.
because the prosecutor is the Grim Reaper, right?
Your client is beyond saving now. You'd only be wasting your time by defending him. But there is one thing that strikes me as peculiar.
What is it?
That old Deathbringer hasn't stood in court for a good few years.
Is that so?
And he only prosecutes infamous criminals, or those who commit the most heinous crimes.
Infamous criminals?
Here lies Pizzato's hopes and dreams. What a baby.
May rest in peace, F. Heinous crimes?
His past marks were all men who would be sentenced with the death penalty.
But that's not the case this time.
You're right. The young women were stabbed, but her life remains intact. I can't imagine why he would show up in a small fry case like this.
I don't really agree with the phrase "small fry."
Maybe he has some specific reason to do so.
Ah, would you happen to have any idea what that reason may be?
Mere man can't comprehend the inner workings of the Grim Reaper's mind. It's spilled milk. You'll just have to ask for yourself when you get to court tomorrow.
No, it's spilled wide.
Yes.
With broken glass around it.
Alright then. Looks like that's all the information we can get from this inspector.
I'm trying to remember how long this investigation is.
No, I know. I got it.
Naruhodō, may I have a moment?
What's Sato? Your attitude changed all of a sudden.
This is just my opinion, but I think perhaps at this point we gotta go to see what our old friend has to say.
By old friend, do you mean Sherlock Holmes?
Yes, indeed. I am unquestionably referring to Sherlock Holmes.
That twinkle in her eyes is clearly excitement. As I recall, didn't Soseki mention Mr. Holmes as well?
Yes, he did. He did indeed. And with that in mind, you could say he's related to this case as well.
Susanna, you just want to go see Sherlock Holmes because you're a fan, aren't you?
This is absolutely not my own. Self-indulgent. Shut the fuck up.
But you don't know his address, so...
It's at Baker Street.
How did you know that?
See? It's written in this book. 1121B Baker Street, the address of the world's most famous detective. God, there must be a lot of stalkers.
Shall we head over?
Hey, Susanna, are you one of them?
We better
You wanna get
going
tossed?
before Susato's excitement rises in a fever pitch.
Now, let us call for a coach.
Looks like we're meeting again sooner than expected. Sherlock Holmes. Alright.
Get out of here! I'm done talking with you!
Alright, fine.
Good decision's been added.
Alright, time to get some water.
I know.
I'm done. Now it's your turn.
Oh, cutscene. Where'd all the snow go?
ありがとうございました。そこの2階でございます。それでは。どうも。ここがホームズさんの事務所なのですね。
So this is Mr. Holmes' office. Certainly has a strange vibe to it. What do you think it's Is it just like how it's written in the books? Susato?
Not now!
To think so many mysterious cases must have been solved in this very room.
In my happy place. In my happy place. Yeah, no doubt about it, huh? Never read any of it myself, so I can't really say for certain.
The detective in pursuit of villains hiding from the shadows of the foggy streets of the capital. Ah! How wondrously romantic. He gets your heart pounding, your blood racing. Does it, Naruhodō?
Huh? Yeah, of course. No doubt about it.
Because of all that. Oh, I'm just a little overcome with emotion at the moment.
Please.
Please.
Oh, sorry.
Pay me no mind.
Right. Sheesh. Looks like the good detective isn't home. Hello? Anybody home?
Oh, guest! Hello there. Do you have a big case for us?
Oh, hello. Huh. Say, you wouldn't happen to be...
Oopsies, hang on a second. I'll go start brewing some tea for you.
If I recall, this girl was... Susato, you saw that girl right now, right?
Wow. This is really amazing. Even the King of Bohemia came here to request of Mr. Holmes' expertise.
The King of Bohemia?
His Majesty, King William Godfrey Sigmund von Bohemia.
Never heard of him. Put down the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a second and look at this!
Sophie, I'm impressed. You got that.
Yeah, I'm
first try.
surprised you got that, like, one try.
Hey. Alright, tea's done. Have some fresh Beck's biscuits, too. Ah! Weren't you?
Knew it. Looks like I wasn't mistaken after all.
It's a child.
Who left this sassy young child?
Here. Who left this child with a gun?
And can I hug her?
I do remember from the PowerPoint, like, she has, like, all of England in her back pocket. Like, from...
I mean, she has surprisingly amount of power, you'll see.
Oh boy. The girl who appeared in the lobby after the trial.
You know, this is my first time seeing an Asian lawyer. You only just arrived in London and you're already getting yourself put to work. Tough, huh?
Yeah, but it's no big deal. What's with this sassy steampunk era child?
Yeah.
This tea's my own special blend. Go on. Drink up, down the hatch.
Alright. Thumbs up. I don't think I've had tea like this before.
Wow, how do I put this? Just a mellow yet sweet aroma. Oh, perfect. Success. I tried blending a tea with a fragrance that would help relieve fatigue. Now's not the time to be tired out from your trip. You got another big case tomorrow. What's more, you're defending a fellow Japanese guy. You gotta give it all you got.
How did you...
By any chance, did you hear us from Mr. Holmes? Wow, do you guys know Holmesies?
Holmesies?
Actually, we traveled here on the same ship with Mr. Holmes. Whoa, really? I had no idea. Holmesy's just got back from traveling abroad, but he's already up and about today.
Wait a second. I'm positive this girl met after the trial yesterday, but why does she know so much about us? You don't suppose this is another one of those deductions, did you?
Putting that question aside, just what in heaven's name is this girl doing here in Mr. Holmes's office? Oh, how rude of me. I haven't introduced myself yet. Delicate show. I'm Irish Watson. How excited I am to make your acquaintance. Mr. Holmesy and I live here together.
Wow, Iris, was it? That's a pretty name.
What?
What's the matter, Susato?
Wait, just a moment. Miss Watson, does that mean...
What's the deal? Susato got so flustered out of nowhere.
Uh-huh, that's me. And what about you guys?
Right. I'm ryūnosuke naruhodō, attorney at law.
Oh... My name is Susato Mikotoa. I am his legal assistant. Pleased to meet you. Susie and Ryu, got it?
Ah, wow, she already has nicknames for us immediately.
Ready.
Okay.
Susie.
Ryu? It's starting to get silly. I have so many questions. I guess I should start by asking her.
I agree.
Alright, let's talk with the sassy child.
She's sassy.
Make sure at some point you present the badge. Just
I believe we met yesterday at the Old Bailey, right?
Yep, thanks for everything you did yesterday. Oh no, we should be the ones to thank you.
I remember being held at gunpoint by a horrifyingly large weapon before you came.
Oh right, hold up.
No!
Like this, right? Speaking of yesterday, I seem to recall you dragging Gina off somewhere.
Gina? Yeah, that hot-headed witness from yesterday's trial.
Oh, you mean Jean Beam? She's actually a pickpocket.
Yeah, we guessed that much.
She's such a meanie. You can't go off stealing people's inventions.
Inventions? What are you talking about, that huge dangerous toy?
Yep. So I just chased her off after in order to get it back. If I knew something like this would have happened, I would have put a self-destruct function on it.
This girl says some scary stuff.
Anyway, after that, I brought Jean Bean back to my place. I wanted her to apologize to the technician that helped me make it.
Technician?
Of course, that's my Holmesies. Did you just call him Holmesies? You know, Holmesy and I live together in this flat.
Wow, I never would have guessed that Mr. Holmes had a little girl.
Well, no way. I'm not his daughter.
Huh?
Even I wouldn't call my own father Holmesies.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering, because at first I kept hearing that she was, like, Holmes' daughter, and I got really confused by her calling Holmes. It's like, she would also be Holmes, like, technically with her last name, so...
this gets explained.
Yeah.
In that case, why are you two living together? Well, London flats are just so expensive, no matter where you look, you know? But it's way cheaper to go halfsies with a roommate instead.
Roommate?
Excuse me, Miss Iris, how old are you? I just turned 10 this year!
But what about your father and mother? Are they not...
Well, you see, I actually don't have anyone like that.
Really? She must have had a tough life. Did you... Okay. Well, first, before I forget, let me present...
I'm pretty sure there's something here.
Miss Iris, could you take a look at this?
Whoa, what is this? Tell me more about it.
Oh, just standing down like
we're
old.
wondering if we knew anything about if you knew anything about it.
Of course not.
Of course not, huh?
Come on now, tell me what you know.
Oh, jeez, I wish I could.
Alright. Dr. Watson.
Watson!
May I ask you something? Fuck!
The stream paused.
Oh, did...
There it goes, back, it's back.
Okay.
Sure, you can ask me anything, Susie. I'm actually an avid fan of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, is that the Strong magazine? I read every issue, even back in Japan. I had them shipped overseas. Wow, you and your fawny sis have read my stories, huh?
Did you just say my stories?
Holmesy just loves telling me about all the cases he solved. And they all turned out so fascinating. So I thought, why should I be the only one to hear about these fascinating tales? What? Just last night, he was telling me about the case he solved on the steamship. I'm actually in the middle of working on a manuscript for next month's issue. You've been working on a manuscript? Yep, that's just between us though. I think I'll call it The Speckled Banner.
The Speckled Band? Those words seem very familiar.
I always stretch the truth a bit here and there though. Like this time, I'm planning on just making the venomous Indian snake the culprit instead.
If I recall, that was one of Holmes' crazy deductions.
That's how it is in the stories.
Oh, just so you know, I do know that it's not how snakes work. But you know, it's just a story, right? Might as well make it as crazy as entertaining as possible. So that means... all of the Sherlock Holmes stories have been published in this magazine. Yep, I wrote every single one of them, with cutting-edge typewriter to boot. But I thought... all these stories were written by John H. Watson, MD, weren't they?
Sal has some trouble controlling the volume of her voice. It's like she's shrieking.
Believe it or not, that name was actually referring to me. After all, I'm just little Watson. Then how do you explain the MD part? Well, you see, I am MD.
What? At the age of 10?
Yep, at the tender age of 10.
Huh. That's impressive, to say the least.
Please excuse me, but... Dr. Watson is a gentleman! I see what you mean. I just had to make some quick edits of my portrayal. What do you mean? I mean, come on. Don't you think it'd be a little weird if I didn't? What kind of great detective takes a little 10-year-old girl everywhere he goes? I don't know, maybe a lawyer 1,000 years from now.
I don't know, what kind of lawyer takes it?
It's literally 100 years, 1,000, what the fuck?
Well, I suppose you have a point.
So, it was the Dr. Watson at the beginning of the game related to this?
I don't know at this point. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just speaking as a current person.
That looks like she's had her soul sucked out and then trampled on.
My childhood, Naruhodō, my childhood!
Yeah, my best friend died, so, you know.
Yeah, good for you.
And I got framed for murder of them, so...
Twice!
Twice, yeah! By the way, there's something we've been meaning to ask you.
What is it, Ryu?
How did you know I was an attorney who just arrived in London?
And even queer. You said tomorrow would be enough for this difficult trial. Oh, that all? We'd love to hear an explanation for this, if you please. Sure, I don't mind. Though there's not really much to explain, honestly. Alright, so let's get this started. Come, one and all, to Iris Watson Theater of Logic and Reasoning.
Okay, here we go.
First off, it was totally obvious from the start that Ryu was an attorney. Boom. After all, we first met in the defendant lobby.
But what about the part that I had just arrived in London?
I can see your passport poking out of your pocket, stuffed there with a boat ticket.
Oh.
It was a safe guess to assume that you just arrived in Great Britain. Not to mention the fact that you went toe-to-toe against the prosecutor proves that you're new to printed law.
You mean the Grim Reaper, of course.
Also, Susie still has some of that red leftover from the stamp she received. That's a stamp from the jail, right? You met the convict there for an interview. Oh. Did you know? They do that because they want to keep track when visitors come and go. I had no idea.
Also, it just magically disappeared right now.
Yeah, it's not important anymore.
By the way, they use that red stamps when a visitor wants to talk with a foreigner. So essentially, even though you two just finished the trial, you went to see a foreigner at the jail. Yet the two of you aren't looking groomy at all. Thus, whoever you met must have not been a friend or family, right? It all leads to one conclusion. You must have taken on a new case, right?
I see.
What about your deduction that this trial would be tomorrow? Holmesy came home yesterday talking about he just solved another case.
I arrested a screaming Japanese man.
He told me with a grinning like a schoolgirl in love.
A Japanese man? Must have been talking about Soseki.
Thank you for saying my line, Naruhodō.
Oh, sorry.
There must be a Japanese sword on your hip. And I think they called Susie's clothing a kimono. Obviously, the two of you came from Japan. From there, it's easy to see. I arrived at the conclusion that you chose to defend a Japanese guy. There's just one more conclusion now. The two of you have totally came to act wholly on the intel on the case. Dun dun dun. The Japanese man trial is tomorrow. That's what it says on the memo on the mantelpiece. You see, Holmesy has a bad habit of stabbing all his memo with knives. Well, I suppose that should be enough. And there you have it. The great deduction of Iris Watson has been revealed. Oh, did my deductions hit the mark?
They were all exactly right. Okay, so I'm guessing with Iris is that unlike Holmes, hers is just gonna be spot dead on the money, like kind of deal compared to Holmes where we gotta correct him.
Amazing. Iris's great deduction are really something else.
You don't have all Mr. Holmes' little flourishes and pomp.
Well, all I did was just mimic the real deal. Either way, it makes things much easier now that you're caught up with everything. Could you tell us more about this Japanese man?
Oh god.
Said that Mr. Holmes arrested him, right?
Yep. Holmesy has actually just returned from the trip abroad, but detectives are waiting for him at the station, so they dragged him off as soon as he arrived.
Wow, the great detective sure is popular.
Apparently, there are sightings of a suspicious hunchback middle-aged man. Japanese. This man was run away from Briar Road, where a woman has been stabbed. Suspicious hunchback and middle-aged. I'm sure it must have been Soseki.
Thank you for reading my line. Now we're even. Soseki
Take back.
Soseki claimed
It's even. It's even.
Nobody else at the scene, though. It's like, didn't have to see the witness.
Holmesy used his classic deduction to figure out that guy's address. The police went straight to his flat near the crime scene. But they found that suspicious hunchbacked middle-aged man trembling in fear.
I guess his deductions do get it right sometimes.
Of course they do! He's the great detective!
That incident
What part of that
happened
do you
only
not
2 days ago.
understand, Naruhodō?
Maybe because I had to correct him the entire time in the case too, just saying. Why is the trial scheduled for tomorrow? That's way too soon, no matter what the case may be.
You have a point. It doesn't seem like they're giving the investigators much time to work. According to Holmesy's, it's because there's so much crime in this city.
What?
Scotland Yard is doing the best they can, but even they have trouble keeping up. Is that so? I had no idea. They just don't have the time to investigate and hold a trial of every single crime. They're short-staffed, underfunded, and usually the most suspicious guy is the criminal anyway. That's horrible! So this is the fruit of pinnacle of law. The truth can be so bitter.
Yeah, looks like it that way. But if that's the case, now I'm even more worried about Soseki. Thank you for answering all our questions, Iris. I've learned a lot from you.
You're so very welcome. I had fun too.
By the way, Iris, where's Mr. Holmes right now? As you guessed, we wanted to ask him about the case.
Oh, Holmesies. I think he must still be in the middle of investigating the case.
Would that be Soseki's case?
Soseki, was it? He said he was going to that guy's flat. If you head there, I bet you'll find him. But where might that place be, Miss Iris? I think the policemen are still investigating the scene of the crime, but... Is there an inspector by the name of Toby at the scene?
Yeah, I remember. That was a Toby.
I knew it. Well then. Will you give this to Toby for me? If you do, I'm sure he'll split the beans.
What is this?
5 shillings and a message card, I believe. So you'll answer anything the guy in the dark jackets asks, right? And then Inspector Gregson will just say anything we want?
Understood. Thank you so much for this, Iris.
Now get back to writing that manuscript for the speckled banner. I've put more of my specially blend tea for you, so come and visit again sometime. Thank you very much, Iris. With that, let us return to the crime scene once more.
This card, along with the silver coin, influenced the entirety of Scotland Yard. We return to the crime scene with the world's heaviest coin in their hand. Yep, alright.
And that's a stopping point.
I figured that after we met Iris, that would be the stopping point, yeah.
Yeah, to be continued. Yeah, there we go.
Let's get our save from. Yeah.
God, my throat.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. I only voiced like one line.
Yeah, you got it off pretty good for today.
Yeah.
Fuck that snowman.
I got to take it easy. Tomorrow, though, I gotta actually start.
Alright. Hey, okay, we got the plan for the city. Nice.
Mentally, I am here.
But yeah, we'll see how the actual case pulls off. I can definitely say the highlight was definitely Iris. Already like her. Very much Pearl energy I'm getting from her.
Powerful child that can do many things. Except she has a doctor as a PhD or somehow.
Yeah. Well, Ping, for the Great Ace Attorney, they just always make the title screen wherever you last saved.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah. We'll continue tomorrow with investigation.
The second half of the investigation.
Yep, and then the week after we will head into trial at that point.
Yep.
So let us see. Is there anybody we can raid tonight?
Don't remember, it's dab in Japanese.
Dab in Japanese.
I got the hashtag.
You know what? Gucci is doing some Among Us. Let's go raid it.
Alright.
Tabs in Japanese, yeah.
Tabs in Japanese, sorry.
Yeah.
I still love Soseki.
Alright.
Yeah, what do you think of him right now? That guy we just met. He's been chill.
He's interesting. I definitely want to see him and Holmes interact more.
I hope my British is in good taste.
Tomorrow I'm actually gonna start voicing stuff again.
Alright, so yeah, probably
You
tomorrow.
really did have it easy this
Yeah, I only had to voice that like a guard once, and that was like 2 lines.
So, yeah, we'll do that tomorrow night, in the, probably around, like, 11 or noonish, I'll do some Spider-Man, and, yeah, have a good one, guys.